Hi everybody.
What's going on? We're talking about stretching today.
Yes, it's Maureen and Cynthia from Essential Fitness, and what we wanted to discuss with you and get you moving on today is mobility and stretching. So we're just standing here behind our mats, and we're just going to start with a stand and reach. Remember these back in the day in high school when you had to try to reach your toes? And everybody is really flexible when you're little because our joints aren't fully formed, and so we're flexible. But we're talking today about whether or not do you need to stretch. How do you know?
Pain? Well, how do I need to know? I guess here's what I wanted to share. I didn't know I needed to stretch until I started stretching. And I'll just come at it from my I train before. Let's come at it pre-EF, before I got to Essential Fitness. I still was lifting, training, doing a lot of HIIT and boot camp classes, and spending maybe a minute on stretching, but nothing really targeted, right? What do I really need? Well, and here's an example of how I knew it was working. This might be kind of a funny example, but I used to be able to sleep on my stomach. And then for the longest time, I could not sleep on my stomach anymore. Why? Because my neck were so tight. I couldn't turn it to the side. So then I start stretching and training with Maureen, and suddenly I can start sleeping on my stomach again. I go,
that's so good.
Oh, I can turn my head to the left and right, when before I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So that was kind of a fun example for me.
Right. Let's go out in a half kneel and then sit back on your heel. Try to straighten this front leg. Yeah, I think that's pretty effective in. You don't know because your movement patterns get so habitual. You get in the car, you sit at the table, you work at a desk, you move forward, and you don't really know how bad it is until you start to stretch, and then you're like, wow, I'm really tight. And we're gonna lean forward and go forward on this leg here.
Or you don't know what's possible, and then once you do stretch, you go, oh, I could move that way.
Right.
You don't realize the limited range of motion you have to turn your head. You're just like, yeah, well, that's just how it is. Doesn't have to be how it is.
So if you, if you can, you guys join us on this half kneel hamstring stretch. And then we're going to add on one of our favorites. You're going to come back to this half kneel and you're going to take your foot out to the side. So a little bit of inner thigh stretch.
Oh yeah.
Hands on the floor, and then you can rock back towards your heel. So maybe instead of watching 5 minutes on Instagram Reels or something that entertains you, maybe you could just spend 5 minutes stretching with us. Great, come on up, and then we're going to go to the other half kneel, other leg out in front. And if you ever have a passive stretch where somebody stretches you, that's another really good way to find out how tight you are, because sometimes you don't even know that you have a lot of tightness in one area, especially the right side compared to the left side. And we're going to come up.
How do you know when you see someone that they need to stretch?
Oh, I can tell when I see people walk if their hips are tight and if their lower back is tight because they don't walk normally. And remember, if your lower back, your lower lumbar spine is a stability hinge, like a stability joint, compared to your thoracic spine, which is a mobility joint. And if you're not mobile in your thoracic spine, then your lumbar spine has to do more work than it was designed to do, which is a lot of reasons why people have low back pain, because the lumbar spine isn't doing what it's designed to do. Nice. Okay, and then out to the side. And so, how often are you stretching, Cynthia?
Oh, now daily. My prescription, I've been assigned to do some hip stretches for my right hip because it is especially tight, and I have a little pain there too. So I'm working on some doorway stretches, and it's helping.
And I think one of the things, let's finish with a child's pose, so sit back towards both heels. Some people think that stretching is too involved, it takes too much time. Do I have to go do a yoga class? No, you guys, you don't have to do that. But if you can spend 5 to 15 minutes stretching every day, it could change your life. And I think everybody has 5 minutes that they can spare. So hopefully you've joined us as we've done these today. Then let's come up to a full kneeling position. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back, stretch our chest, and look up. And if you've done nothing else today for your fitness, maybe just 5 minutes of stretching is going to make you feel better. It's going to energize you, and you're going to move better.
Move better.
There's nothing to lose from that. All right, you guys, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our stretch.